Greetings, this is Obi-Wan Kenobi, and I have drifted into the Underworld. The Star Wars Underworld. I have a bad feeling about this.
Here we go. We must go to the lower levels. The Underworld.
You've taken your first step into a larger world.
You're after something.
Ben.
Since I've started the Underworld, I've met so many great friends.
Chris.
I grew up in the 1990s, and mall packaging is nostalgic for me.
Dominic.
What I love most about Star Wars is that it's fun and it's all-round good times.
So, this is where the fun begins.
May the Force be with us.
This thing really moves!
Whoa! I like this!
I can't believe you came all this way to see me.
Why am I not in the intro? I gotta come up with a snappy line.
Well, hello again, everybody, and welcome back to the Star Wars Underworld podcast, your weekly source for all the latest breaking Star Wars news, reviews, and discussion. And this week, we'll be talking about LEGO Star Wars Rebuild the Galaxy Pieces of the Past. We're finally going to dive into the nitty-gritty of that comedy series. We're gonna have some we're gonna have a great time talking about that. We'll also get caught up on the latest Star Wars news and tidbits that's going on about things like Ahsoka and the Mandalorian and Grogu. Exciting things are happening on both of those fronts, and we'll answer some of your questions in our beloved iconic segment, Ask the SWU. It's going to be a great show. First, though, introductions are in order in case you're new to the show or you've forgotten who we are. That can happen. My name is Dominic Jones, and with me, as always, he's the founder of the Star Wars Underworld. It's Ben Hart, the Star Wars guy.
Why, hello there, ladies and gentlemen. It's good to be back. And yeah, we've been holding on. We've been holding on this just for you, Dom. Just for you. We held on to this all this time just for you. No, you're a Lego maniac like me. So,
I was gonna say, I think I am the most passionate about the Lego specials. I think everybody likes them. I'm not like claiming them as my own thing. And I'm sure there are people out there who are more passionate about them than I am. But amongst our roster of hosts and even amongst our network, I feel like when a Lego special, like this was must-watch TV for me. Like I got home and it was like, we're starting with episode 1 and we're just rocking all the way through it. There was no delay, there was no pause. There was just like, here we go, we're in. I treated it as though it were an episode of Andor, even though it really wasn't. It's not the same.
Kind of the antithesis of Andor, actually.
Yeah, but it's still a lot of fun, and it's a great, little snippet of Star Wars storytelling.
Yeah, no, to me, this is like I'm feeling the hype for this because like I feel like it's kind of frustrating how underappreciated this show has been specifically. Yeah. Like, I think this particular show and these episodes we're about to talk about like some of the best I think Lego content we've gotten thus far, and just so hilarious and so brilliant, and it feels like in a time when we don't have much going on, people are just like, oh, okay, Lego. Like, no, pay attention. This is good. This is good Star Wars, guys. This is really good stuff. You need to watch this. You need to understand it because it's just, it is very much underappreciated.
Yeah, I feel this bears repeating because I know we've said some variation of it over the years, but I feel like they choose the worst possible way to release this show. I feel like you either got to release it week to week and let people like build the excitement, become aware that it's happening and like, over the course of a month. Or you say there is a new Lego Star Wars movie dropping on Disney Plus. You treat it a little bit more like a movie, not the same way you would treat The Rise of Skywalker or The Mandalorian and Grogu, but a little bit more. You give it a little bit more of the oomph, a little bit more of the je ne sais quoi for that you give to a movie. You say there's a Lego Star Wars movie dropping, and then it becomes a movie event, or it's a week-to-week series event. Instead, it's this weird flash in the pan. If you're paying attention, you'll notice it and you'll watch it. If you're not, or it's really easy to miss because it's 4 episodes all broken up into different pieces. I feel like there's other ways to do this. I feel like there's better ways to do this, but this is the way they've chosen, so be it.
Yeah, because I really do feel like this is like not on par, but like very close to the quality that we've gotten with the Lego movie and the Lego movies, like those films, which I love to death. And like this is just more of the same to me. And yeah, it's just like I want a Lego Star Wars movie, damn it. And this is basically it. It's just split up and it's not getting the attention it deserves.
I remember thinking that with the first season, just being like, oh, this is a movie, but we've broken it up into 4 parts for no good reason, no discernible reason. But that is what it is. Also joining us from the Raeside, it's Hannah Raeside.
Oh, no way.
Wow.
Hello.
Wow.
G'day there. I'm here, unannounced. I didn't even tell these guys I was going to be here, but I'm here.
Yeah, just MIA until not.
Yeah,
It's
exactly.
all of a sudden-
That's my MO now. That's how I roll. But no, glad to be here. Sorry, I'm a little late. Just got in, and also the time changes have started to occur with all our different countries. So I'm all out of whack, but I'm here regardless.
Hey, if I ruled the world, okay, there wouldn't be any time zones. Okay, we would just be it would be 12 o'clock everywhere.
What? Yeah,
That's my policy.
I would follow that. Yeah,
It is okay. Time zones are an insane idea.
Mm-hmm.
Why does it matter if noon is the middle of the day? Why does 12 have to be the middle of the day? Can't the sun be its highest at 3 in some parts of the world, at 5 in some parts of the world, at 12? Like, it doesn't make sense. We can just all have one time that we agree on and say it's 9 o'clock now. It's 9:15 here. It's this level of darkness where I am. It's that level of darkness where Ben is, and it's the middle of the day where Hannah is, but it's still 9:15 p.m. We can all just agree on a time, and you just shift your lives accordingly.
I
Or
think
6
you're
o'clock
making a
news
great
is not a
argument
thing
here.
anymore. Yes.
Like, okay, except that time zone exists and it has to be 9 a.m. It has to be daylight in some places, which isn't even true a lot of times. In some certain places you go to based on your distance to the equator. But like, why change the time every 6 months? Like, why are we doing this? I don't have to get up early and plant my corn, okay? That's not something I've ever had to worry about, okay? So why are we still doing this? Why?
And here's the thing, Ben. Even if you did, you don't care what time it is when you have to plant the corn. The sun goes up. That's when you get up, and that's how we should go back to that. Anyways,
there's this thing called lights.
Wow.
You have now. I'll just turn on the lights and I'll plant my corn if it's dark.
Night corn.
And I can't believe this was a
right.
plot point in Lego Star Wars Rebuild the Galaxy. I can't believe it. It's a shocking twist of
so good. So
twist of
good.
fate.
Yeah, that's it. That's it.
Good stuff. All right, we'll get more into Lego Star Wars and the news and everything else in a few minutes. First, though, reminders: make sure you subscribe. Punch the subscribe button. Chewy subscribe on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, YouTube, however you like to watch or listen. If you're listening live and you want to join in on the conversation, super chat with us. That way you get guaranteed access or guaranteed feature spot. I don't know. You're guaranteed to get your question into the Ask the SWU segment. You can also become a channel member if you want to, put some money in the tip jar, but don't expect anything in return. We've made it very clear we don't give anything back. We just do. And
We
leave
just
a review.
do.
Yeah. Get
leave
our
a review.
smiling faces, which occasionally smile.
Once we bought a whole restaurant pancakes. That happened one time.
Yeah,
And that was
don't you
thanks
forget
to-
it, audience.
That's
Don't
a
you
once in a
forget it.
decade occurrence.
Yeah,
You got to wait another 7 years for that.
That's
to
where
happen.
all our money went. We're broke now. Thank you.
Celebration
Yep, that's pretty much it.
2032. Maybe we'll
Book
get
it.
you
We'll
something.
book an IHOP now for
Yeah.
2032. Yeah.
2032. So put your money into the tip jar so we can buy other people pancakes in 7 years. Also join the Discord. Keep the conversation going between shows. Join the Discord. Get involved in all the fun stuff that Ben and Joel are cooking up, like game nights, movie nights, all sorts of fun things like that. Follow us on social media between episodes at the SWU. And check out the other shows on the Star Wars Underworld Network, like the Raeside, Ion Cannon, Tales from Beyond the Galaxy, and the Tractor Beam. All right, let's get into it. Let's talk about Lego Star Wars Rebuild the Galaxy, Pieces of the Past. Ben, going to throw it to you first. What did you think of this 4-part, not a movie, not a series event?
Whatever whatever this thing is, this pieces of a Star Wars movie, I guess we're called pieces of a great Star Wars movie. And I'm considering this a great Star Wars movie because it is. It's freaking fantastic. Like, it's so funny, it's so clever. The writing is just superb. Like, it's like, how many jokes can you fit in like however many minutes this thing is? Like every 5 seconds, it feels like there's something genius that's happening on screen. And the deep cuts down, everything from like Jackson showing up to all these characters to like the deep cut references. I think a lot of like normal, quote unquote, normal fans probably won't even laugh at because they don't even get it, but we get it because we're hardcore. And it's just, it's a barrel laugh. It's also got a lot of heart. I think that's what makes Lego so special. I think they always inject a lot of heart into it, a lot of really great character crafting and storytelling that keeps you really engaging. I think it's just ultimately something that kids obviously you're going to love, but I think there's a lot to love if you're an adult, or I really, anyone can get something out of this. And like I said earlier, vastly underrated, underappreciated, because I think there's a lot to love here.
Absolutely. Hannah, I didn't get a because you just showed up after the show had already started. Didn't get a chance to ask you. You've seen this thing, right?
Surprisingly, yes.
Okay, good.
I watched your reaction, so I knew that.
Did you actually? Oh, wow. We would have been awesome if I said no then. It's surprisingly I've seen a special. I rarely see the specials either because they don't give us Australians the specials, or I just don't catch up enough. But I watched this like as it came out because I'm pretty sure it was a midnight Pacific time release for US and that side of the planet. But here it was like 6 p.m. It was lovely. I had nothing on in the evening, and I was, you know what, amazing. I'm gonna watch a Lego Star Wars special, and it was freaking good. It was freaking phenomenal. I had such a good time. Interestingly, I hadn't seen the previous Rebuild the Galaxy in full. I know, like the funny bits from the clips, but I hadn't sit down and like watched it like as is. So that was sort of funny, but I think actually just from all the clips I've seen online, like I pieced together like who's who. But this is a Lego movie. I think I said, Ben, you maybe did I say this in my reaction? I was like, this is a Lego movie. Why isn't this in theaters as a
exactly
hour and a half special, like school holiday time, release this for the youngsters? It's so good. It's so fun. And I can't wait to kind of pick at it like we do with these conversations, because it's so interesting and of how good it is and how many deep cuts there are.
Yeah, I had unlike you, I sort of had the opposite thing where I was so ready for this that I rewatched the first season a week before it came out because I'm like, I need to be in the zone. I can't just rely on my shitty memory and TikTok clips. So I gotta be in the zone. So I rewatched the first thing, and then watched this one as it came out, and it lives up. It lives up. This is gonna be a really dumb statement because I know it's called Lego Star Wars. I was surprised at how much product placement there was in this thing. Like,
that was decent. I don't know if that was usual. I was like, wow, they're really just like, here's the set you can get.
Yeah, it felt more than there has been in previous ones. Maybe I'm just misremembering, but like the whole sequence with the slice of the Death Star disc, and considering how much like friggin' discourse there had been about that thing, to then have like a whole sequence set aboard it, I thought was hilarious. There's no way they could have known. There's no way they could have known it would have caused this much consternation amongst the Lego and Star Wars fans. And yet there it is in the first part of this thing. There's just scenes where you're just basically looking at the set. It might as well have just had somebody come on and go, now available at the Lego store for $1,000. And then the K2SO at the end being kind of the final boss, the Chewie, like the big sort of statue versions of them. Brickhead's Ahsoka was great. But like it's all like really like these are
like, literally
that are available.
It's so accurate. The one, like I've had this for like a long time. It's so accurate, like how well they capture this on it. It's exactly the set. They just put it in animation. Like, it's crazy.
Yeah. But see, on the flip side of this, as much as I was like, oh, this is obvious product placement, if they hadn't done that and hadn't done all the sets that have just come out, and, you know, there was like the ATT Walker at some point, all these things, it would have been like, hey, they should have just shown the sets that they have now so you can buy what's on the show. Like, I would have the same criticism if they didn't do any of that. So it kind of makes sense. And I think for in my mind, for the purpose of this, it's like, you know, they're going for that younger audience. They're going for those kids who maybe like Lego in general, and they're trying to sell up, you know, Lego Star Wars to them more. You know, to see a TV show and then you can like have the Lego set of it immediately. It's cool. Like, you know, I think that's a big thing for Star Wars to be doing. So yeah, but it was very funny where it's like, oh, that's the piece you can buy right now. Like, oh, here we go.
It is sort of the polar opposite of like, you're like, hey, let's watch the new season of The Mandalorian. Hey, look at all of these cool new characters. I wonder what figures Hasbro are making. Stuff from season 1. Like, it is sort of the polar opposite of that. And it is unique to this one because I feel like they're still catching up with some of the other Lego Star Wars specials. Like, they're still making Christmas Lego Star Wars sets, stuff that was... I guess that new gingerbread AT-AT wasn't in the special, but like a couple years ago, they did the Millennium Falcon Christmas scene. And it was like, that should have come out when the special came out, not 2-3 years later. But so it does make sense what they're doing, but it was very funny to have the Death Star right there at the beginning. Look, this isn't Andor. This isn't Ahsoka. We're not going to go in depth on the story here, but let's get like what stood out to you most. So Hannah, I'll throw it right back to you. What stood out to you most in this new mini series of specials?
You know what I think it is? Which sounds so funny to say about a Lego special, but I think it actually was the confidence and boldness of storytelling within this. It felt so well written, and you could feel the writers behind this know what they're wanting to share. They know what the character of Sig, and I forget the brother's name all of a sudden. Dev, yeah. They are very clear in what they are wanting the audience to get from these characters, and you know, the subsequent characters around them, the story. They know very clearly what they want us to feel, to not give up on one another, to see the goodness in other people, to help one another. Like, all these notes all come through very clearly. So that's the thing overall that really stuck out, you know, aside from just like the impressive animation and the funny little jokes that we all got. It was just like really well written. It was a powerful story. It was like cool Force things. It was just like they just told this Star Wars story very confidently, and maybe just in the context of actual TV shows, live action animated we'd be getting, that's sometimes my criticism of like, I wish they would just go for it. You know, there's too much trepidation and, oh, maybe this character, and then we won't talk about this character again. Like, just too much bits being soft on what the story that they're telling. And this show was just like, this is what you're going to learn from these characters. Boom, here you go. Here's the 4 episodes. So that's what stuck out to me from this show. Just the boldness of the storytelling.
I remember feeling that way with the first one too, that there were points in it where I was like, oh, right, there's jokes. Like, I'm just sort of invested in the story. I want to know what's happening with Dev and Sig and everybody else. And you take even a character like Jedi Bob, like that's just, they've taken a meme and turned him into a character. They've taken this just sort of like in joke from Lego, like Lego and Star Wars online fandoms, and said, what if we made this guy into a character with some depth? And yeah, he's funny and he's over the top and he's silly, but there's something there. It's like the reverse of like Admiral Akbar or something, where you take like somebody who's supposed to be a quote unquote serious character and you turn him into a meme. They've taken a meme and they've turned him into a semi-serious character. It's pretty impressive. Ben, over to you. What stood out to you most?
Yeah, no, I kind of want to piggyback off what you guys are saying here, just in regards to the balancing act this show does in regards to doing the crazy, the ridiculous, the insane, the comedic, and doing it very, very well to the point where it's very, very funny and very, very clever. I think if it's just like, oh, it's just Lego and it's just stupid funny, like you could do that and it would be funny, but it would also be very shallow. I think they do like the depth is there for the comedy, but also the depth is there for the story and the characters. And like, you have Spider Darth Jar Jar in there, like he's back, which I'd love to see. Ahmed Best is back. It's great. I was very disappointed when he died last season, so I'm glad he's back. And like that ridiculousness and all that comes with it, and all these different worlds and all these different sized characters and whatever else, and Jackson's thrown in and all this kind of stuff. That's great. But then on the flip side of that, having this very personal, story between the brothers and then Jedi Bob and Solitis, who genuinely a cool Star Wars villain who is genuinely compelling and also straight-laced, doesn't crack jokes. He's a villain through and through. He is serious. He's taking it seriously. And you feel it, and you feel the real stakes because like he is the ultimate straight man to everyone else that is ridiculous. And that adds stakes to it and makes it feel somehow very, very compelling and real, which is amazing.
Yeah, Solidus is a better villain than like he has no business being that good in this show. Like
villain. Yeah.
So like it felt intimidating. It was compelling to watch. There was something to what he was saying. He wasn't just evil for the sake of evil. He had an actual tangible goal and a worldview that made sense, even if you don't agree with it, which we shouldn't agree with it. But like you could sit there and watch him. He wasn't like, and I hate to say it because I like this actor. I thought they gave a great performance. And there were a lot of years where I spent really looking forward to their time on screen. But upon reflection, Moff Gideon is a terrible villain. And
I'm glad I'm not the only one that thinks this.
Yeah.
Why? What does he want? He wants Baby Yoda. Why? You have something I want. Why? Why do you want him? For Thrawn. What does Thrawn want with him? It's a secret.
Took him 3 seasons to answer that question, by the way.
And they still didn't answer it. Damn it. They still didn't answer it. That's
why, like,
for.
every time God love Giancarlo Esposito. He's so great and he's so charismatic, and I love him as a person. And I love him as an actor. But every time he's like, "Well, what if Moff Gideon?" I'm like, "Please, God, no! Let Moff Gideon die."
He's so compelling to watch as an actor that you forget that the rest of it makes no sense and is not. It is anyway. Solidus. You watch him and you know what he wants. You know what he wants and why he wants it. Again, not that we agree with it, just that we understand it. And that makes for a compelling villain. And was it Dan Hernandez and Benji Sammet? I don't know. Maybe they should take over writing the serious quote unquote Star Wars shows. I might be game for that. Once they finish up with Spaceballs 2, they can write us actual Star Wars movie. I think that would be pretty fun. Another sort of highlight of the special was seeing the entire Skywalker family all together from a certain point of view. You had Surfer Dude Luke, Good Vader, Pirate Queen Amidala, which is just perfect, like the perfect twist on that character. Incredible.
Good. Yeah.
And Princess Leia, who's just kind of the same in every galaxy, except she married Greedo in this one for some reason. But you got them all together. That was sweet. And it is kind of funny that it did take until something like this, which is, to be fair, the only place it could really happen, to get a scene with all 4 of them together. I'm a little surprised the sequels didn't try to do something with that. I know they were, especially in the early days of the sequel trilogy, they were afraid of doing anything prequel related. But you could have done something with Mark Hamill, Carrie Fisher, Hayden, and Natalie in some kind of Force ghosty thing, and have Daisy Ridley and Adam Driver there and all that. But they didn't, and so we get this, and this was pretty sweet too.
Yeah, no, it's great. It's very, again, surprisingly touching to see all those characters together. And then like they kind of made the official accounts cover kind of like making a big deal out of it, saying like, oh yeah, this is like the first time they've ever been together on screen. I'm like, wait, what? I'm like, no, that can't be right. And I start thinking about, I'm like, oh yeah, you're right. They've never, like, those four characters have never really shared screen time together, and it's insane that we got that took a Lego special 40 plus years later to finally do it. But it's great. It's so good.
I think that's what's so funny about it too, is that that's how much Star Wars fans are just yearning for that, and I think have yearned for this, and that criticism of like, oh, they could have done this in the sequels is so valid, and like it still stands so clearly. And the fact that we get this in a short kids Lego special and we're still like salivating over it is just like, oh, we want this so bad. Like I will be a fierce defender of the whole argument of, oh, you know, we're over the Skywalker saga, we're over the Skywalkers. Like, no, we're not. I don't think,
No.
even if you say you are, I don't think you actually are either. Like, I don't think anyone is. You know, if they gave us a scene of that in Rise of Skywalker, that would have been incredible. And yeah, we were so yearning for that.
It's
it's
one of those.
Oh my god.
Yeah, it's one of those things. Like, you can be like intellectually be like, you know, I think it'd be better if we moved on and did different other stories.
Yeah, explore other things.
But every time there is at least one member of the like core four Skywalker characters that if they showed up, you're gonna lose your mind. Everybody has at least one, if not two, three, or four, that they would show up. So whether that's Anakin showing up in Ahsoka, whether that's Luke and Leia in episode 7 and 8, or Padme in, all right, nothing yet. But you know, any of them popping up somewhere could easily have, you know, will easily drive people's excitement, because, you know, the Skywalker story, for as much as Star Wars has expanded beyond it, and it is the story of Din Djarin and Cassian Andor and Han Solo and Rey and Finn and all those characters, like it is still the Skywalker story. All those things do kind of circle around the Skywalker story. We've never actually had a story that is completely removed from it, and we won't until maybe Starfighter, probably not, but maybe James Mangold's movie, maybe, but probably not. It's not going to be the Rey movie, and it's not going to be the Filoni movie. They're still going to involve them in some way, somehow, or they're building off stories that involve them some way, somehow. So, you know,
look, I'm not one of those people that's going online and sharing that photoshopped image of Han, Luke, Leia, Chewie, and Billy D in the cockpit of the Falcon going, missed opportunity. I'm not that person, okay? Because
so you're not Mark Hamill.
No, I'm not.
Unreal.
I will say, like, the biggest missed opportunity of the sequel trilogy is still like bringing Hayden,
not having Hayden,
having a scene between Mark Hamill and Hayden Christensen. Like, that's the biggest missed opportunity. And I guess they could still do it, but it feels like that is up. But it's one thing I kind of half admire about Star Trek. Star Trek never shied away from nostalgia bait and just like putting different characters together. Like, they have a whole movie about Jean-Luc Picard and James T. Kirk on an adventure together. It doesn't, like, that shouldn't make sense. That should be ridiculous, but like, it is. And I'm like, I know Star Trek Generations, maybe not a great movie, but like, they did it. And Trek like really embraced, like, we'll just, you know, Scotty got stuck in the beam or something, and now he's here, and we're just gonna have fun with this. And like, I think there's something to be said about that. I think obviously it can get out of hand sometimes, but also appreciate when they just like, screw it, we're gonna do this.
Yeah, look, I said last week or last time I was on that, like, I'm sick of being nostalgia too, and there are some things in Star Wars that I don't like, even though lots of other people like, because I just feel like it's just blatant nostalgia. Like, it's just an attempt to capitalize on my love of other things instead of trying to create something new. But sometimes you just want to do something fun. Sometimes you want to do something fun. And to bring it back to the Lego thing, this is a really great venue for something like that, and making something like the Skywalker family all coming together in slightly upended situations, or more than slightly, is a nice thing to see in a story such as this.
Yeah.
What else stood out? Jump in here with your moments from Rebuild the Galaxy.
I'm trying to think.
This kind of goes without saying, but hearing Ashley Eckstein's voice,
yes,
every time brought a tear to my eye. Oh my word. It's incredible what a lasting impact that she has had on the fandom. You know, this is 6 years after, Clone Wars season 7 came out.
Yeah.
And 15, 20 years since like Clone Wars started, we first heard her, and it's just incredible that she still has this effect on people. I think many people had that reaction. I had that reaction of just like, oh, that's Ahsoka. That is so Ahsoka. I'm looking at it like a Lego ridiculous cartoon Lego whatever. Yeah. But it's Ahsoka Tano. That was just so special to hear her just say. I think it was just her hearing her like say new lines and say new things. Yeah. It was just like, that's Ahsoka though. So that was very special. I really, really loved that. That was a real highlight for me.
Yeah. I like Rosario as Ahsoka. I think season 1 was solid. And her performance in Book of Boba and Mando was good too. But I've had a hard time connecting with that version of the character. And it's not because of the writing or the performance or anything to do with anybody doing something wrong per se. But I think it is because when you watch Clone Wars, when you watch Rebels, the only thing that's quote unquote real about Ahsoka, the only thing that is actually human, everything else is drawn or created in the computer, is her voice. And so for as great a performance as the animators do with what they make her face do and the rest of her body, so much of her humanity and her and her personality comes from Ashley. And when you get a version of the character that isn't Ashley, it feels weird. There is some sort of strange mental block there that doesn't quite exist for, Ewan McGregor to James Arnold Taylor going the other direction. All right. But for the going from animation to live action, it's odd. It doesn't, and I'm not saying that they should have cast it differently or anything. I'm not saying any of that. It just it's created a block. So yeah, so hearing her again was really nice, and to hear her, as you said, say new things, not just things we've heard before, it was a nice moment in all of this.
Absolutely. I'm trying to think of the other things that really stuck out to me. I think the comedy, they hit the comedy really well, and that's really easy to say about Lego. I don't think there's ever been a Lego short special game that it's like, well, it's not as good this time. It's like, it's always good. It always gets better. It's always so clever. And I love there was the deep cuts, obviously, like real deep Easter eggs, EU stuff. And then I felt like I'm trying to think, there was one example where I feel like they were really sort of leaning into fan culture and fan comments. I think it was on the Snoke pit. That was very funny. The idea of instead of the Sarlacc pit, it's the Snoke pit. There was some sort of line around that scene. I should go back and watch that, where I felt like they were poking fun at everyone had their theories, like no one knows what this is. And
I really
enjoyed that.
Yeah, they asked something like, "Oh, what is this?" And they said in the end it didn't really matter or something like that. Like it was something
Yes,
to
yeah,
that
there was
effect.
some just line of this didn't work to the effect of this didn't work as we thought or something.
Yeah.
Like, and it must have been that because it was just like, oh, there's introspection here of like abandoned culture. This is so weird. And I think that is so not Star Wars. Like Star Wars never does that
No.
iconically. So that was really fun. That was really fun. And then just the overall Lego humor. Yeah. Between the deep cuts, the puns, the play on words with all types of, naming of things. And then all the swaps, like you were saying, the Leia marrying Greedo, Padme being a pirate, like all these things were so good. And even the 3PO and R2 as like pirate mates was just so clever. They was so funny like that. Unbelievably good. Yeah.
Yeah.
Gold
I liked Cal Kestis basically being a gamer, bro. I thought that was a good sort of twist on it. The one that really got me though was the BB-8 wing. That
yes,
really good. That was really
good.
So good. And the Porgal. I know that was in the trailer, but I still thought it was really funny in the episode.
So clever. Yeah. Yeah.
Can I just say one of my favorite moments is the opening of, I believe it's episode 2, where it has the old school, it goes the old school Lego logo from like the 90s, and then it has a flashback with Solitis and Jedi Bob, who's Jedi Bob. I can't remember his full name. They keep saying it over and over again.
I can't remember what his first name is drawn out to be, but his last name is A-Full, which is adult fan of Lego. So they're drawing in.
And I feel like Jedi Bob is a deep cut. I feel like people have forgotten, or maybe they didn't realize like that character like comes from like the original Lego gunship, and it was just like this random Jedi they threw in there with Mace Windu. It's like, oh, Jedi Bob. Like everybody loves Jedi Bob. So, but that little scene, it's got the old school. I think Jedi Bob is like Lego. He's like yellow, like the old school Legos were. Like I love it's also great.
Yeah, I remember seeing Dan Hernandez and Benji Sammet at D23, and I can't remember which one, but one of them is like a really big Lego fan, and the other one is not. And so whichever one is like the big Lego fan is like deep into it and deep into the lore, and was like, as soon as they got the job, was like, Jedi Bob, we have to use Jedi Bob. Jedi Bob has to be a main character. And the other one was like, what the hell are you talking about? Who is Jedi Bob? What? You want us to do what? So, yeah. Anyways, let's rebuild the galaxy. That's Pieces of the Past. Really, really good stuff. I imagine next summer or next fall, we'll see a third go around at this, but
honestly, but in saying with mentioning that, I hope with their real want to be in theaters again, release this in theaters. And I think the release into theater things is so different now because there's this like quick turnaround that it's only out for like 4 weeks and then it's into streaming. Like they could do that. They could even only release it for like 2 weekends. 2 weeks in the theaters and then you get it on streaming, but have that opportunity, I think, especially for like families, like in some sort of holiday period to go see this in theaters, because I think it would be so fun too. Yeah, so good.
Just you a series of specialty screenings would be a take that.
Yes, yeah.
I mean, you would think with Disney's very clear move from an emphasis on streaming to more of an emphasis on theatrical releases, that they would be like jumping at the chance to put anything in the theater, especially something Star Wars related, something Lego and Star Wars, which, Lego movie did pretty good. Like, so like, I don't know, just stitch them together and release them, for goodness sake. Even if it's just a streaming movie, like I would just love to watch this all in one go, because it does feel like it's something like, oh, it's just throwaway. It's just a little Lego series. Like, no, guys, you have something special here. You do it, use it wisely.
You've got something fun. Take advantage of it. All right. Let's move on. Let's touch on a couple of news stories here. We're of course still looking ahead at The Mandalorian and Grogu. Well, Brendan Wayne, he who provides the physicality of Din Djarin. He was on the Star Wars Sessions podcast. Ben, I know you listened to this. What did he have to say? Give us the report. Report live from Tatooine.
He was surprisingly loose-lipped about the movie. He said quite a bit. I hope it doesn't get him in any trouble, truly. But that was a great little podcast, and it definitely highly go check out Star Wars Sessions. A great podcast all itself. But like he was talking a bit about the fact that they did seemingly shoot on some locations, more so than maybe usual. They did still use the volume, but maybe not as much as they did for the show. He said that a guy named Matt Leonard actually provided the physical acting for Zeb in there. So you actually had an actor on set, which I imagine someone did the same thing for Mandalorian.
So
And
I can answer that. I can answer that for Mando because
Yeah.
when I interviewed Paul Sun Young Lee, I asked him about that scene. And he's like, yeah, no, it's just some giant dude on set with dots on his face. And then you read in the script it says Lasat pilot, and he was like, and he apparently went up to Dave and was like, Dave, Lasat pilot, Zeb, and Dave was like, you'll have to wait and see. And Paul's like, shouldn't I know who I'm talking to? Dave's like, you'll get there. We'll find out.
Oh wow!
Anyways, continue.
Come on,
Continue
you're not gonna get one over. Come on, Dave. You're not gonna get one over on Paul. Come on, now.
Yeah, exactly.
Especially not Paul. But he emphasized, Brendan Way emphasized that this movie is going to be, because they asked him to describe it. What describe it in one word, and he said action packed. He said, wait, that's 2 words. But like he was like, yeah, and he also said that Lateef Crowder had a lot to work on. Lateef, obviously, for those in the know that he does a lot of the stunts, a lot of the action moments, and he got to work out. He said that they were him and Lateef were in pain at the end of the movie because they had so much action, and yeah, and he basically said, despite the discourse, despite the whole, maybe it's not as cinematic as it needs to be. He said that Favreau and the DP and all of them really took painstaking efforts to make this, take the step forward and make this as cinematic as possible, as something that is deserving of being in IMAX. So we'll see. I'm trusting Brendan, I'm trusting Favreau, I'm trusting Lateef Crowder, all of them. But yeah, it's great. There's a lot of other little details here that I'll probably have forgotten already. But yeah, it's cool to hear out there, and hopefully don't hurt Brendan. He's just Disney. Don't hurt him, okay? He's just giving out details. He's not ruining the movie, okay? Be nice.
Exactly.
My best case scenario for the sort of discourse around the trailer that came out, just talking on that point, is that it is a case of under promise, over deliver. That we all go into this going, this doesn't look that big, fantastic, and then the movie is actually feels really big and cinematic. So I'm still it doesn't look as good, but I'm hoping it does change when we see it in theaters. But yeah,
everything we've seen, everything we've heard about this movie makes it sound absolutely bonkers in the best possible way. And I'm fully expecting to come out of this movie not necessarily going, wow, that was the deepest, most profound thing I've ever seen, but I'm expecting to come out of it going, wow, that was a fun ride. Wow, that was great fun. It's gonna be a Hutt fighting in a gladiator ring. How is that not going to be epic? How is that not going to be fun? I think when we talked about the trailer, I think Chris nailed it. That part of the problem with the discourse around the trailer is that all the good stuff was seen at D23 and Celebration already. So there were leaks and there were descriptions and there was all this stuff. So everybody who's going to be involved in the discourse was already aware of that stuff in one form or another. So there wasn't anything new in there. And when they drop the next trailer and there's some other surprise, that'll get people going, that'll get people talking, and people won't overanalyze shots that are really still unfinished.
Yeah. You know what? And I forget where I said this in the analysis of the trailer, the drop. You know what will change? I don't even think it's going to be, seeing a big moment that might happen in the movie. You need to have the epic, hair standing up on your music of The Mandalorian, which is an incredible theme. Have that just at 1,000 decibels, and you have You have Pedro Pascal saying some corny ass line of like, "This has been my life forever as a bounty hunter," or whatever, and then you have Sigourney being like, "We will always fight," just cheesy ass action movie lines. You need the dialogue. That again, I am convinced that teaser trailer had no dialogue because they hadn't sent. Pedro hadn't sent his voice notes of his voiceovers yet. That's why there was nothing said in it. It's like, why was this so blaringly missing in this trailer?
The trailer we saw at Celebration, Hannah, was so much better.
So much better.
So much better.
And it was short as. It was like 30 seconds, but it was better.
In part, it's because of exactly what you're saying. There was like a funny scene with dialogue with Sigourney Weaver, Din Djarin, and Grogu. She's like scolding him for like all of the mistakes that he made as Grogu tries to steal her candy, and then she stops him from stealing the candy. You get kind of like a truncated silent version of that in the actual trailer, but it's so much better with the dialogue. It was funny. Like people were reacting. I remember in the Galaxy stage, we all laughed. Like it was good.
I am convinced they uploaded the incorrect one. And then it was just so far out that like, we can't go back and change this.
You're joking, but it happens.
It is that, or, if you've ever edited something, you've got, the audio file, the video file, the special effects or whatever, someone accidentally muted the whole line of dialogue audio. I'm convinced
they uploaded the Mandalorian trailer final version 4.0 when they should have uploaded the Mandalorian trailer final version 4.1.
Yes, that's exactly it. Oh, so good. Unbelievable.
So good. Another character I'm hoping, and I would place a bet that this happens, makes his return in The Mandalorian and Grogu. Timothy Oliphant as Cobb Vanth, Refrigeration.
Really?
I think he's in this movie. Because this quote that you've got from here, he talked to the Ringerverse. He said, "I'm guilty of sending Jon Favreau and Dave Filoni a text that said, just a reminder, neither me nor Cobb Vanth are dead." Whatever. He had a different quote back in the summer where somebody asked him about his future, and he was sort of like, he gave the "I can't say anything" line that actually means I'm in something. And it's either this or Ahsoka.
That's true.
And I don't think it's Ahsoka. It's got to be this. And like you look at everything about this movie, it looks more Book of Boba Fett than Mando season 3. And it wouldn't surprise me if characters that were last seen in Book of Boba reappear in this. And we already know of at least 2. The twins, those Hutts.
Yeah, true.
They're on the poster.
I'm
not, and look, I'd love to see like Sophie Thatcher come back and stuff. I don't think that's happening. But Cobb Vanth, like he was a big deal in Mando season 1 or season 2, excuse me. He was a big deal in the Book of Boba Fett, and the last scene of the Book of Boba Fett is him in that Bacta tank, getting his stomach rebuilt or whatever. And it wouldn't shock me if he just shows up in this movie for part of the adventure. And it wouldn't surprise me. Again, I know Tem has been doing his tour of, nobody calls me anymore. They've all forgotten about Uncle Tem. It wouldn't surprise me if Boba's in here too. It wouldn't surprise me if it's a little bit more of a reunion of the bounty hunter class.
I totally agree. I totally agree. If we go back and look at the receipts of what actors have said, and then they're in something, it's so hard to track. Like textbook, like rule number 1, whatever the actor says, don't listen. It's probably the opposite. If I think, because everyone's going, Tim's coming out saying, he's calling, he wants to do more. Mm-hmm. But then we were getting all these different reports around April being like, he's, at Celebration, he was mentioning all this clone stuff to people. He was talking about the Republic. Why would Tam know or care about the Republic right now, respectfully? Unless he has been recently given the script by saying, hey, you're not playing Boba. We're getting you back to play Rex. He's a Republic captain. You gotta know all the context of what is said. I think that's a great point you make, Dom, about Timothy being like, he was just really cagey about talking, and now he's just
here's
saying,
here's a quote. Here's a quote from Tim from July, asked by Screen Rant. Do you think we'll see Cobb Vanth again in The Mandalorian? He says, I appreciate that question. I'm not allowed to talk about that. It's possible. It's possible that he's not allowed to talk about it because he's at a press event for another thing. But it's also possible he's not allowed to talk about it because he's in the movie. Anyway, somebody who's not in the movie but is in the podcast now. Welcome to the show, Chris. I'm glad you made it.
Hey!
The gang's all here.
I've been freaking right now.
So 25%. That's the chance that it'll happen. 1 in 4 is the
4?
There's
Of us being
4
together right
things-
now?
There's 4 things that could happen, and one of them is Jays versus Dodgers World Series. Holy crap!
Oh yeah, I resisted the urge to only talk baseball tonight because that's really what all I've wanted. But since you're here, I'll
time.
say,
Let's do this. It's time.
I've just had one. There's been 3 words that I've been saying all day today. It's a quote from, I really think sums up the joys of baseball. It's a quote from one of the all-time greats, David Big Papi Ortiz, and that is, "The Yankees lose."
yes. That has been ringing in my head too.
Wow.
The same quote.
And all of our New York listeners are that's just going down.
No, they're mad at the Yankees too.
Baseball.
Okay, so like,
Baseball.
I have a question though, Dominic. So since you unfortunately no longer work for the Jays,
all it took was me leaving for them to start winning again.
Exactly. Are you going to be putting your entire life savings into World Series tickets if it happens? Is it gonna happen?
It would be tempting, but I don't know. The tickets for the championship series games in Toronto went on sale this afternoon, and they were like gone in seconds. So even if I was willing to, I don't know if I'd be able to.
Is there like a StubHub thing in Canada?
There is, there is, and so you could go through that. But then there's
sure
also there's other like they're like they save like 500 tickets a game and they sell them for $50. But if you have to like call into the radio station, or whatever.
Of course, yes.
So we'll see how that goes. But Sunday night
we'll hack the radio system.
Yeah.
Let's overwhelm them with calls. Saying
we'll take over.
We'll
say podcasts have replaced radio, and therefore you should give us the tickets.
Hannah can call them, be like, "Hello, this is Dominic Jones."
Suddenly you're British. I like that.
That was like halfway there. That was all right.
You nailed. I feel like you got the
Dominic.
Jones right. Yeah.
Jones. Yeah. Jones.
Jones. Dominic Jones.
Oh, goodness me.
Oh, goodness. All right.
Wow.
So
what are y'all talking about?
We're talking about The Mandalorian.
Oh, yeah. What actors are saying what and what's real
Yeah,
is Timothy Oliphant going to be in the Mandalorian movie, essentially.
Yeah.
Boba Fett.
And Cobb Vanth, Boba Fett. I say they're both in it. I'll say they're both in it, and I'm willing to make a wager on that. And I don't have any inside information, but
without a doubt, put money as a group. We should all 4 of us put money on who is definitely not going to be in the movie and who's absolutely going to be show up in this movie. Yeah, that absolutely needs to happen.
It's
Jackson.
It's gonna be Moff Gideon.
Yeah, Moff Gideon, Jackson, and who
Cara
is
Dune.
that? You know what's going to be wrapped up in this? Oh, shit, hang on, triggered. Oh my god. You know who is going to finally show up in this movie and get their story arc concluded in a sense? What's his name? Danny Trejo, the
Oh,
Rancor
yeah,
keeper.
the Rancor keeper.
Yes. Why the hell introduce
it's
him?
about time.
And
He
then
had like
nothing
2
happened there.
scenes.
He was like, I still don't understand what happened there. They he had like an in secret like plan with the Rancor or something. Oh, that was so weird. That's gonna show up.
Barely remember this.
That's what
who
I'm.
understands most?
look,
Who understands most of what happened in the present in the book of Boba Fett?
Let's
the past
let's
is so good.
hats.
The present makes no sense.
Present was so wild.
I mean, let's put our tinfoil hats fully on here. Like the twins, the twin Hutts, who we last saw in the book of Boba Fett, are on the poster for this movie. So we know at least one plot line that was last touched on in the book of Boba Fett will be picked up in this movie. So
you know how they love to bring back characters who die? They should bring back Jennifer Beals Twi'lek character.
Oh my god, yes.
Yeah.
Oh my
there was no body.
For
I didn't see a
no
body.
For no reason and completely unexplained, there will just be a new bar on Tatooine run by her.
Max Rebo survived another explosive gig.
Of course.
And
He's
he's
not
there
dead. He
again
can't
as
be
well.
dead.
He can't die.
He's gotta make it.
Or we find out something that like he just magically keeps showing up in these places and then they blow up and he's mysteriously gone at the time of the explosion. What's going on there, Max?
He turns out to be
Explain
like
yourself.
one of the henchmen for the twins.
That
He's
you know
the reason
what?
the explosion is.
Honestly, that would be the most Jon Favreau ass story I've ever heard in my life.
Honestly, yeah.
Hey,
yeah.
guess what? R5D4 is a hero of the Rebel Alliance. Max Rebo is a special ops operative for somebody. It's going to happen.
Good. Perfect.
It's Jon Favreau in a nutshell. All right, let's move on. So Mando Grogu, that's coming up. Also coming up, Ahsoka season 2. It's wrapped filming.
Yes.
Cast has been posting all sorts of things. Not much to say here other than congratulations, and
then
we'll see you next year. Yeah, we'll see you next year. Look forward to the trailer. What comes first, the trailer for Ahsoka or the Mandalorian and Grogu? Definitely the Mandalorian. Grogu.
Okay,
Actually,
more
they're
betting.
right.
why are we so into gambling?
Why are you so
This episode brought to you by FanDuel. We're starting up the new Star Wars segment.
What's that new app? What's that new app where you can bet on the weather? Like, I feel like they're gonna.
Oh God!
Get it. I keep seeing these ads.
Let's become a sellout podcast and just unethically support
we're
gambling.
gonna do a whole do a whole segment on the over under. What are the betting odds? That
oh my god! Okay, all right, 30-1.
As long as it's Monopoly money.
I forgot the bet I was gonna say. What was I gonna say? Oh yeah. Ahsoka trailer drops May 26th. Release of the Mando movie. That's when it comes out.
That makes sense.
That's when it comes out.
That makes sense.
That's my bet. It's gonna come out
like
before the
Mando
movie.
Yeah.
Yeah. Or
they're not gonna put it. They're not gonna put it in theaters. It's not gonna be in front of the Mando.
I mean, I've seen like trailers for the shows on.
Yeah.
They're
gonna want to go hardcore. I reckon this is like their last bet on like our Disney Plus shows are good. This is their last bet of it. This is their last bet, honestly.
Disney Plus?
So, you know, exactly. So probably not on the day off. It'll release 1 week before. And then 1 week before, and then it'll play before movies. Before the movie in theaters.
So
that makes sense.
Wow. I think I predict Ahsoka will come out in August again.
Me too. Yeah.
July for the trailer.
No. They'll capitalize Mando. They'll capitalize Mando.
A month before.
Maybe end of June. They don't do anything.
What about?
They didn't put a trailer for Solo in front of The Last Jedi. They are not putting a trailer for Ahsoka, the streaming show.
No, that's
they
different.
put a trailer for Andor on the back of Revenge of the Sith re-release. They did that this year.
Yeah, that's a good point.
No, they didn't.
Yeah, they did the big us Andor, and it was like a special scene from it. Before the what was this not in Canada?
No,
yeah,
apparently not.
It's this like
What's
trailer and an extended sequence
scene was
I
it?
don't know because it was when I was running that event, so I didn't actually. I like ran in when I heard the Andor music closing, being like, "Fuck, I missed it." But that was the thing. That was the thing. So okay. Yeah, no. You know what's gonna happen now that I'm thinking of it?
Also, if we're talking about the re-releases and how they market those things, they're like, oh, the Acolyte footage is going to be with the Phantom Menace, but we're putting it after the movie, after you've all already left.
Wait, is it Acolyte? Yeah. Was Acolyte? Hang on, what am I thinking of? My brain's
No,
mixing everything up.
you're talking about the Andor, the Andor,
There was
season,
Andor-
the first art scene.
There was
in front of
Andor
Rogue One.
footage in front of Rogue One. There was Acolyte footage after Phantom Menace, and there was nothing with Revenge of the Sith.
Okay, I think I was thinking
Yeah,
of
Revenge of the
Acolyte and
Sith was
Phantom.
Revenge of the Sith was after Andor.
I think you're right.
Wasn't it?
That's
Yeah.
why when I heard Acolyte, I was like, no, actually, no. I think I'm talking out of my ass. I think it was Acolyte with Phantom. Yeah. No, but see,
They don't,
like,
they don't market
they
these
did
things
that.
in a smart way. This is what
No,
I'm
don't. It
saying.
makes no sense. Like I convinced myself when I said Andor before Revenge.
Yeah, I was like,
that sounds right. Yeah.
Look, I had to see the movie twice to get the Hayden Christensen like free walk-in talk thing. So it wouldn't have surprised me if there was something that I missed out on because they didn't run it all over the world. So you could have convinced me.
What about Mando showing up in Ahsoka?
Love it.
Come on.
But no. But I mean, I'll
it's
take,
gonna happen eventually.
I'll take that bet against it, even though I'd happily be wrong. This is sort of like betting against your own team. You bet against your own team, and then you win.
Isn't that the point of the Mandoverse? That at some point we're gonna have like a movie or TV show that all the characters they're in.
Yeah,
like,
it's the Filoni movie.
The Dave movie.
Yeah.
So that's why I think they'll want to go hard in, hey, if you love this thing, if you love the Mando movie, watch the Ahsoka show. If you loved Ahsoka, go watch the Mando movie. Go watch all these things. And
1 month after the Mando movie is open, they'll be like, hey, remember that? Here's a trailer for the next thing.
I don't know. I just think it would be really smart. You're gonna get all these normies pouring in for the Mando movie. Give them a cool kick-ass lightsaber trailer, and they'll be like, "What's that?" You know.
I'm on your side. I think that's the way to go. I think that's I'm not arguing that that's a bad idea. I'm just arguing that I've watched these.
Will they think of
pricks
that?
do this for 10 years
Will
and
they
they
think of
never
it?
do it?
Oh
Yeah.
I'll take. Look, I'll take that. I'll take that bet. I don't know what we want to bet. What we want to wager.
An
I
IHOP
bet and squats.
Here's what we should bet.
You've become an old Ben all of a sudden over there now.
Here's
Stuck on Tatooine.
Here's what we should bet, Hannah. If you're right, I'll come on the show and sing the Australian national anthem.
I don't know what that is.
If you're right, you got to come on the show and sing the Canadian national anthem.
Okay. Yeah, that sounds good. I
did this. I did this wager with Kieran about 10 years ago, and then I had to come on the show and butcher "God Save the Queen" because I lost.
Unbelievably good.
See, I don't actually.
Okay,
know.
I like that.
I don't know what the Australian national anthem is, so now I wanna.
Isn't it something about going to a fair?
Is it?
It is called Advanced. I don't know why. Advanced Australia Fair. Or maybe no D on the end. Advanced Australia Fair.
Advanced Australia Fair. I've never heard of it. This is interesting.
Yeah.
I want to hear this now. Dominic.
It's about how we like have beaches and we're nice. That's essentially it. Because it's like, hey, we're Commonwealth.
Checks
we don't
out.
care about having a king.
Because in America we get to hear the Canadian national anthem a lot because our sports teams play each other and they always play both anthems. So it's like whenever the Blue Jays are in town or the Leafs or whatever, you hear the "Oh Canada." So we know it very well down here. I'm sure it's vice versa.
Interesting.
Oh yeah,
I'm sure there's
I could do the Star Spangled Banner right now if you wanted me to.
Yeah,
I don't want to, and I wouldn't want to, but I could.
I don't know your Aussie teams don't go over here for some reason.
That's true. We don't go over there. It's too far.
It's too far to go across the ocean.
Darn.
Yeah, literally. Unless it was our sailing team. But our national anthem.
Maybe I need to go to sailing competitions to see you
guys
sail across
that's
the
where you'll
Pacific
see us. That is where you'll see us.
That makes a lot of sense.
Yeah. All
right.
No, but I think there is a bid to make. Do you know the song? Oh, jeez, what is it called? You know, I come from a land down under.
Yeah.
Like, I think there's a bid to make that out.
I thought that was the national anthem.
Yeah.
That should be.
Yeah, no, that's
Should be.
very.
I think people want it to be.
That's very popular here. Like that's when we think of Australia, we think of Steve Irwin, The Men at Work, and Outback Steakhouse. Those are about our three exposures to Australian culture.
Do you okay? Question for the Americans. When you guys learned about what little we learned about Australian culture in North America, did you learn about didgeridoos?
Yes, of course.
Okay, good.
Oh yeah,
because I was talking to because I was talking to an Australian recently, and I was talking about how a lot of what we learned in Canada about Australia revolves around the didgeridoo, and she didn't believe me.
Yeah,
really?
Oh, wow.
I mean, if by learn you mean I saw a video on the internet once, then yes.
There you go. Yeah,
that'll do. That's fair.
So the if I remember correctly, the one of the most popular shows in America that I think has become a popular show in other countries as well with their own version is Survivor, and Survivor has didgeridoos, I think, as a part of their theme song. And when they do Australian seasons, they'll like actually show it being played by the indigenous people from Australia. So like, you know, so it definitely has been on like national TV a lot from like that. And yeah.
Do you think we've scared away our entire audience at this point? Do you think they're
I
like
love this? I would love this.
They're the nerd on Robot Chicken going, talk about Star Wars. All right. Let's move on. Ahsoka season 2 is over. They finished shooting the damn thing. That was the whole point.
Yes.
Ben, you wanted to talk about an action figure, so I will cede the floor to the gentleman from Mississippi to discuss the newly revealed Black Series Kyle Katarn figure. Take it away.
Okay, so yes, for those unaware, and I pushed the button at the same time. Okay, never mind, it's there.
Second week in a row. We did that last week.
Yes, exactly. This is why I don't touch anything, usually speaking. But yeah, we got surprise. We got actually several figures. We got a Obi-Wan Kenobi Vader with the bent helmet with the whole thing from Obi-Wan Kenobi. There was a Shakti figure, another Padme figure, several things. But we got this one, which is a Kyle Katarn figure, and I started looking at this figure, and I'm like, I feel like I've seen this face before. Is anybody picking up on? Does that face look familiar to anybody but me? Because
no.
I literally had to, if I can get it up in time, I had to go and create a side-by-side comparison photo of this because it's eerie. It's eerie. It's really weird. I think this figure, I think the face looks like Glenn Powell.
Okay.
Oh yeah, I can see that. Yeah.
Do you have a conspiracy theory here, Ben? Is that what you're?
No, I just wanted to point out. I just wanted to point out that apparently Glenn Powell is going to be playing Kyle Katarn whenever he shows up on screen.
He does have those narrow eyes.
Look at that.
Hey, yeah. I actually thought.
I feel like this is big news. I feel like this is big news.
I thought you were going to say it was going to look like Ryan Gosling. This looks
See, I think it looks more like Ryan Gosling than Glenn Powell. It looks like two white guys with a beard.
That's pretty accurate, though.
I mean, it helps that they are two white guys with beards. So I don't know. I see more. I could see Gosling, but also I'm like I'm not buying that. He's not Kyle Katarn, Starfighter.
Yes, he is. Yes, he is, Ben.
And he's also not Cade Skywalker. He's not Cade Skywalker.
Yes, he is. Yes, he is. He's both
of
them.
Which one of those? He can't be all of them.
They've combined them into one character.
Kyle
Skywalker, Kyle Katarn.
Kyle
Cade. We've got our we have got all the tinfoil. We're wearing all the tinfoil this week.
All of it.
Crazy stuff. That's all I wanted to point out. I'm glad you humored me there for a second. But I wanted to break the news to everybody that when Kyle Katarn shows up on screen, it's like Pierce Brosnan as Thrawn again. It's that all over again.
Yeah. I feel like Ben, is this something you came up with when you're like, the show's going to be 25 minutes if I don't pad it out?
Well, there was a moment where like, I'm going to be the only one person here. and
that's true.
and there's going to be nothing else to talk about besides Lego,
what a
because
turnaround.
none of these nincompoops told me they were going to be here. I'm just kidding.
Yeah, right.
My favorite thing is not answering Ben in messages.
Why aren't
Yeah,
we
love it.
doing our 15th anniversary special right now? Because
This is the only time we're all gonna be.
By the way, to peel back the curtain, the one private message in the private chat here on when Hannah showed up, pranked.
That's all I needed to say. That's all I needed to say.
Oh my goodness.
All right. Well,
That's it.
since we're all here, let's answer some listener questions. I think
Happy
that feels
15th?
like something.
Oh, right, yeah.
Something we should do.
Yeah, fair enough.
Or we can do Ben's 15th anniversary celebration.
We don't have
do
time
all
for
that right now.
We don't have time. I got too much plan for that.
Oh,
all right.
Wow.
We'll be here for another 2 hours.
Dang.
Oh, great!
Well,
I'm
that's
excited. I'm excited. I'll bring
good.
pizza rolls.
You're gonna have to take the 5 and cross it out and put a 6 though. I know it.
Yeah, this isn't happening again for until next year. All right, first question submitted via Discord. This comes from Dr. Hugh 17, who says, on Saturday 20th of September, I attended a 4K cinema screening of the Thunderbirds episodes Trapped in the Sky and Terror in New York City, which inspired me to drop this double bill of questions. What televised Star Wars productions do you think would look great on the big screen? The Clone Wars is one that comes to mind, as there are plenty of story arcs that are cinema worthy, with such examples including the Weapons Factory and Darkness on Umbara arcs. Perhaps something of this scale could be done for the show's 20th anniversary in 2028. 2, if Star Wars Visions returns with a new palette of studios outside Japan, like in Volume 2, what formats would you like to see, old or new? My example is a stretch, but I'd like to see a Star Wars short filmed in Super Marionation, an amalgamation of super marionettes and animation, the same techniques used in the Thunderbirds and other Anderson shows. I can imagine a short film in this format making good use of Star Wars' fantastical technology and themes of heroism, but it would also bring George Lucas's inspiration for the Clone Wars character designs full circle, especially if it's basing on puppets from the mid-1960s caricature iteration seen in both Thunderbirds and Stingray. All right, question 1. What Star Wars TV shows should be in theaters?
So, first of all, that's cool because the Thunderbirds was that huge influence behind the art style of the Clone Wars. So that's cool. I don't see Star Wars television as television. I see Star Wars television as Star Wars films that are unfortunately on Disney Plus. So for me, like I really think all of it belongs on the big screen. It just logistically doesn't make sense, so we don't. So it's like I don't have like an interesting answer of, oh, I think it should be this or that. I mean, almost everything that we've seen on Disney Plus or Cartoon Network or Netflix, I think would be amazing on the big screen, starting with the Clone Wars. I mean, the first episode of Star Wars Rebels I got to see in a theater. It looked amazing on that. I have no doubt that Bad Batch would look absolutely incredible in a theater. It looks amazing on like a 4K TV. And then all the live action shows for sure are shot like movies. It's just on Disney Plus. So everything. That's my answer. Everything. Every single thing.
Everything. Anna, what about you? What are you thinking?
I think Ahsoka is a pretty easy answer for me. I think there's a certain cinematic energy and quality I think that show has. Obviously pointing out the opening scene of episode 1 is very impressive. The whole Balin and Shin landing and kind of the echo and mirroring of that sequence with A New Hope and Phantom. I think that would be so fun to see on the big screen as a TV show. But then the follow-on of everything from episode 4 and 5 would be incredible to see. Like the big screen of the World Between Worlds, the sort of the sonic force sound, that kind of sound that happens when you're in the World Between Worlds. And visually it's very bright, and in terms, well, even though it's in darkness, but you know, the walkways and everything is so big. There's so much contrast with different colors. I think that would just look incredible on a big screen. So I think the Ahsoka show would be an easy choice for me to see in the big screen.
Okay. Ben?
Yeah, I'm trying to think, because there's like I'm kind of with Chris here. Like there's so many things that like I look at, and like I got what I wanted. I asked, I put it out to the universe. Give me Siege of Mandalore, the greatest Star Wars TV thing ever, and put it on big screen. And they did it for me, and I saw it. So I'm kind of satisfied with that. If there's a runner up, I mean, I think I go back to, I mean, I've been listening to the Rebels podcast and thinking a lot about that show. And like one of my favorite Star Wars memories is like seeing the season 2 opener on the big screen. That was a great thing. And like any of that show, I think there's arcs, there's obviously longer episodes, or just single episodes that are amazing and visually amazing. I think you could pick a ton of things. I mean, the finale is great. Obviously, season 2 closer is like, probably up there, like top 10, like Star Wars movies, in my opinion. So yeah.
So I saw all of Obi-Wan Kenobi in theaters. That was that.
Well, we got old Tom.
Greg.
Yeah, right, big guy. Yeesh.
Yeah. And I will say, like, even for when I think the shows don't look quite as good as the movies, seeing them in theaters does enhance it. And I do remember thinking, because I'd seen most of the episodes on TV first, but I remember thinking like, oh, the colors pop so much more in the movie theater. Like the lightsaber reflections on Obi-Wan and Vader's faces really shined.
Wait a minute. It was worth it that when the lightsabers hit each other and they bounced off of each other because
exactly.
Yay!
Yeah. It looks so much better. So like, yeah, Obi-Wan looked great. Still think they needed to do better on the ship animations, but that's another conversation. Also saw Siege of Mandalore on the big screen, was incredible. Did I tell that story on the show, Ben, about seeing Siege of Mandalore at Celebration Japan?
Yes, I do remember something along those lines.
Okay, so I'll tell it again really quickly.
I can't remember specifics because I never remember anything from the show.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, no, Ben doesn't listen to what I say. I decided, because I didn't go with you guys in Anaheim, and I regretted that. So when I saw they were doing it again in Tokyo, I was like, all right, great, I'm going to do it this time. And so we went, and Filoni and Whitwer come out and they introduce it. It was really great. It was really exciting. Sit down, theater goes dark. Everybody's cheering. The title cards, things start playing, and the episode starts and the Tom Kane narration comes on. And I'm like, hey, that's interesting that they have English subtitles and not Japanese subtitles. And then I went, hey, I don't understand a word that's being said out loud. And I realized, oh, that's right. They're showing we are in Japan. They're showing the episode in Japanese. And I did for like half a second consider leaving, and I did see a few people get up and leave. And then I thought, no, I'm in Japan. I should watch this in Japanese. And also, like, it looks great no matter what language the characters are speaking. So I stuck around and it was awesome. I was very happy that I stayed for it. So to your point, Chris, like, the shows are just movies that are presented on television. My two real answers are the Eye of Eldani arc in Andor, just for the Eye of Eldani sequence.
Yes.
And the Gorman arc from season 2 of Andor, because
awesome.
I feel like the surround sound of those scenes would be very harrowing, and it would take that sequence that is already quite a heightened experience, and crank it up to 11, quite literally. So those would be my two answers. Is there another type of animation you'd like to see them approach for a future volume of Visions?
Yes.
Lego stop motion, right?
No, actual animation. Drawing.
Yeah.
On a piece of paper animation.
Oh,
please.
Yeah.
It's not that I hate CGI, but like there's way too much of it.
Okay. Okay.
Draw something.
I mean, and this goes for like Disney too, like something that I wish they'd bring back, which is like old school hand drawn animation, like that was like the catalyst for like the golden age of Disney and all that kind of stuff. Like it's just like I know for various reasons it's gone out of style, but like it's such a beautiful art form that I think, you know, bringing that back and taking the time, and Star Wars would be the medium where you could do that in a way. And I feel like it's not that far off from what they're doing with Visions already. So
Was
that,
the
yes, Lego stop motion, do it, please.
Was the micro series, the Jenny Tartakovsky series, the last hand drawn Star Wars thing?
Was it hand drawn though? Because there was definitely some CG elements in it. Like the ships were definitely CG.
It was 2003,
I
right? So
I just watched a making of it actually recently, because I've only recently watched the series. And yeah, Dom, what you just said there, right there. I think the vehicles, it's like they couldn't figure out a way to actually depict the vehicles properly and like drawn, so they did CG for the space scenes and like vehicle scenes, but then everything else was like
I'm fine with that.
And obviously,
I remember noticing Anakin's starfighter moves very differently. Than
it like goes into 3D and then back to 2D.
Once it's pointed out to you, because there's also like there's CG animation in like old school Disney movies. Like there's like the magic carpet in Aladdin is a lot of that is CG. Like, you know.
Yeah.
I like that you've seen Aladdin, Ben. I don't know why that makes me happy.
Came out the year I was born, so.
Was it? Wow.
I would be kind of shocked if someone hasn't seen that movie. I'm looking at Dominic.
I've seen it. What do you?
Okay, good. Just making sure. I never know with you in animated things.
Yeah, I've seen it. I saw it on VHS at some point in the.
We've all seen Aladdin. If someone hasn't seen Aladdin, we should stop and we should show them Aladdin, because oh my goodness.
I didn't see the remake. I saw the original.
What? You've never seen the Jafar?
Oh, they did that live action.
No, I didn't see the live action.
Will Smith. Oh man, I wish I saw that, man. I don't think I will. I wish I will see it. I actually won't actively see it ever.
Here's the thing: is I heard so many terrible things about the Will Smith movie that for a while I refused to watch it, because I just heard bad things about it and how it was an insult to Robin Williams and all this stuff. And then I watched it finally, maybe on like an airplane or something, where it was like kind of like a low stakes situation for me to watch it.
Low stakes.
And actually, I was really impressed. It was really, really good. I'm like, dang, this is one of the better Disney live action movies. Like, so I stamp of approval on the Will Smith as the genie, and everything else. Yeah, it was inventive.
No, it's good.
It's good.
I can confirm. Can confirm.
Yeah.
It's good.
Right. You've seen the live action Aladdin, Ben?
Because of course. Look, I haven't seen most movies, but I've seen some movies.
Exactly. And Aladdin live action shouldn't be high up on the list of movies you should have seen. For you.
Also,
I don't know why it's shocking when you see it.
I know. But hot take: the remake actually improves on the original, if you can believe it.
So.
Well,
in some ways. Is that a hot take?
Should I mention like every single Disney movie until we get to one that Ben hasn't seen?
Yes, I don't know why it's shocking only when Ben.
Okay. So Ben, Little Mermaid.
Like
Did I
the
hit the first one?
The original?
About originals.
Yeah, only talking about originals. Okay.
Yeah. Original Little Mermaid.
How did we get here?
Ben, this is a question for you. Answer the damn question. Have you seen it?
Also, Hannah, why are you in the witness protection program?
Yeah, I don't know what happened there. I didn't even fix it.
Have I seen what? I didn't catch half of that.
Have you seen
The Little Mermaid? Have you seen The Little Mermaid?
I haven't seen either one of those. No.
Okay, we found one. We found
a movie. Okay, but well,
this game died.
There are some Disney movies.
One question
that I have seen 1,000 times, and others I've not seen at all.
Okay, so Ben, you need to become part of our world and watch The Little Mermaid.
Hey, don't say our world. I haven't seen it. I haven't seen
the
majority of Disney movies.
What?
No.
Neither
I haven't seen.
And you're
barely
watching
Little
Mermaid.
I see how it is.
That's the show. You're not missing out much.
Why are you kidding me?
A Jamaican crab or something. I don't know.
Oh my!
Crazy.
There we go.
Crazy.
The Little Mermaid has the best soundtrack of probably any Disney film. It is like the number one soundtrack.
I do like somebody did like a rock and roll version
It is
of some of the Little Mermaid songs. Those were pretty good. What were we talking about? Oh yeah, Star Wars Visions. Any other animated animation styles like to see? I have an off the board answer, but I'm waiting to see if anybody else has anything. No. I want a live action season of Star Wars Visions. I want them to hire.
That's gotta be one of the worst things you've ever said.
Wait.
That's gotta be. That's gotta be the most
Did you just say
uninteresting things you've ever said.
Did you just say
that is so
that
not
your
interesting.
wish for Star Wars is that we got live action anime, which is the word for animated in Japanese?
No. Live action. I want 9 animated or not animated. I want 9 live action shorts.
Brother,
that are in Star Wars.
Literally.
Okay, that's a better way
Straight
of
after
saying
we finish this,
it.
just
That's a
go
better
to
way of saying
YouTube and type in Star Wars film, and you've
that's a good point. That's a good
That's
point.
exactly it.
Exclude a certain one about a certain Sith that got cut.
Give me people who can actually make stuff, and give me. I know there's lots of good fan films out there. I don't want to be too dismissive, but no, I want to see live action ones. I want to see the level of experimentation that goes on in the animated side of Visions in live action, because a lot of the live action shows are pretty same.
Yeah.
Pretty samey.
Yeah.
And I'd like to see somebody for 9 to 20 minutes do something with Star Wars.
Go watch the Acolyte then. Go watch the Acolyte. That's different. That's different.
It's not different. It's different-ish. It's not. I want like really different.
You know, when
really
when
different.
Joel agrees with my take in the chat, you know, you're in for it.
But no. Joel thinks that Star Wars should be almost 100% animated. So I'm taking Joel's comments out with a grain of salt because of that.
It's just fair.
I think
hot take. That's interesting.
I think there's give me 9 Star Wars live action shorts and go just go off the board with them.
I wouldn't be mad at that.
Yeah.
Okay, so there's this channel. Remember, the channel like Omeletto but Star Wars.
Yeah.
Yes, that sounds great. Why isn't it already like that? Why this should be a thing.
There you go.
They should let filmmakers, if they're making like their first film and they're doing a short because it's easier to get that budget, raised for your first film. Like they should let them do Star Wars films too. And then it should go on Omeletto.
No, like go out and get established filmmakers, but established filmmakers with an interesting voice, and get them to do 9 minutes instead of doing a whole 2.5 hour, $200 million production. Do 9 minutes, and give me something interesting.
What's
give me
that
something.
Gonna give you?
The same thing that Visions gives us with the animated side of things. It's like it's a different vision of the Star Wars galaxy.
I love that Hannah is so against this. This is great.
You know what it's like? It's like you're really, really hungry, and you go to McDonald's, and you get a Big Mac.
Go with the food analogies.
And and you go. I get a Big Mac. It's delicious. You eat it. And you finish the last bite, and you're like, that was scrumptious. How good. You ate it in 5 minutes. Within 15 minutes of having that entire burger, you're like, I'm hungry again. I need something else. That did not fill me up. I got to eat something. Because it's not filling. It doesn't satiate your desire. That's how I see that. That's how
I'm so lost in this metaphor.
No. This is how it works. This is how it works. This is not the Big Mac, because it's something that I don't know if this is in Canada or Australia, but it's in the United States because we're America and we have things like this. It's the McRib. 4 for 4. No, it's the 4 for 4, which is you have like a little hamburger, a little chicken sandwich, some 2 or 3 chicken nuggets, and a drink for $4.
Yeah.
4 items for $4, and you get a little bit of all the things you like. You
But-
don't have to choose.
Yeah,
big thing.
but it doesn't fill you. You know what I mean? Don't you ever get that
So
when you eat
here's-
If you have
McDonald's
a
and you get
hamburger,
hungry
a
like
chicken
within half an
sandwich,
hour?
here's-
It's just like
here's-
sugar.
So can I say here's why I want a live action Visions. It's because so much of the live action Star Wars right now is when you're really hungry and you go to McDonald's and you get the burger and you're like, this is great.
Doesn't
And then
feel-
15 minutes later, you're hungry again. Like
Mhm.
that sums up Ahsoka season 1 so perfectly. And what I'm
Unbelievable
proposing,
take.
what I'm
Oh.
proposing is when you're feeling really hungry and you're like, where's there to eat? And you find some like weird food truck or hole in the wall place, and you go in there and you have something that's so amazing, you think about it for the rest of your life, but you can never find that place ever again.
Who would
Interesting.
want that though? Who would want that? for
Because
their
it's
life?
so good. It's so good. It stays with you.
But you'd want to
stays with
find
you.
it again.
But you never can, because that's part of the magic of it. That's part of the magic of it. I'm saying, give me the 12 most perfect minutes of Star Wars that you can imagine. That is unlike anything you've ever seen,
no,
unlike
that's
anything you've ever
crazy.
imagined. And then you
Okay.
and that's it. And then for the rest
Okay.
of your life, you imagine what if Star Wars was like that, because they keep giving you the Big Mac over and over again.
Oh no, this is gonna make me mad because now I'm remembering watching Star Wars Visions and being like, "Oh, why aren't they making all these into a TV
But
show?"
you-
And we're getting one, which is
But
good.
yeah,
but
that's it.
not all
That's
of
it.
them.
Every
Not
now and
all of them.
again, you will find it again. You will find it again. You will be like, "Oh, the Ninth Jedi full series," and you'll find it, and you will go back there over and over and over.
Okay, if they do that, it's allowed. If they make some of them into series, it's allowed. So what we found out is that the only reason why live action Star Wars Visions is good is because it will lead to live action Star Wars shows, which we already have anyway.
But we already have animated Star Wars shows anyways, and we still get Visions animated, and it's led to another show. Like I don't see why this. I'm so surprised that everybody's so against this idea.
I'm for it. I'm just not for that argument for it. Like I'm for it for like the 4 for 4 argument. Like you just get like an a la carte as a bunch of things.
Yeah.
I think that's a good argument.
Yeah.
You'll never get it again. I think saying.
But I would. Okay, but wouldn't you rather? What would you rather have? One perfect thing once, or a pretty good thing a lot of times?
A pretty good thing.
A pretty good thing a lot of times.
Give me that one perfect thing once. Give me that one perfect thing.
Why not
once.
both?
I'd rather have perfection.
This is
I'm
so
not alive
difficult.
for one day.
This is really
I'm
dumb.
hurting.
We've
I'm in pain.
sunk to really dumb lows before, but this is pretty dumb.
And let me just really quickly say about Ahsoka season 1. Ahsoka season 1 is not a Big Mac. Ahsoka season 1 is a 10-piece McNuggets combo, which I get on the regular. So I just want to make sure I clarify that. I just want something else.
Imagine the best. What you think is the best or Star Wars movie or the best Star Wars TV episode. I'm gonna say Empire Strikes Back but it can be whatever you want for you.
Yeah.
Would you want to watch just the Empire Strikes Back, but no other Star Wars ever gets made, or would you want all the rest of Star Wars and just Empire Strikes Back doesn't?
No,
exist?
okay, but no, that's not what I'm arguing though. That's not what I'm arguing. I'm arguing that you still get all the other stuff, but the perfect thing exists on its own. Empire, if we'll just use Empire. We'll say Empire is the perfect one for the sake of this. Empire exists as its own thing, and I can always look at Empire and go, perfection. There it is, and nothing will ever be as good as Empire Strikes Back. This other stuff's great. I'm happy with it. I'm enjoying it. Revenge of the Sith is awesome. Force Awakens is dope. Like, this is great, but Empire will always be there, and we will always strive to find Empire again. But we may never will.
I think
You're
though,
basically describing Andor.
But I think in this analogy, though, it's like we're assuming that each of these things are kind of in their own universe. Like each of these shorts are their own thing. Yeah. So it's like you can't say, like, whereas Empire is not in its own universe. Empire's in the same universe as the rest of Star Wars. So you have to say, like, you only get Empire and you don't get anything like that. You don't get anything close to that. You don't get any Star Wars that is current Star Wars because there's only one thing in that universe allowed, which is Empire, and then the other stuff is like Guardians of the Galaxy and that one, this or that.
No, it's Visions. It's like Visions. It's like the rest of Star Wars still exists. This is what I'm saying. It's Visions. The rest of Star Wars exists. You just get these little pocket universes of the Duel, the Ninth Jedi, Screecher's Reach, and all those ones.
But
the thing is,
I agree with you. I just think that the argument of the reason why it's good is you'll never get more of it is a strange argument. I'd rather just say it's good because it's different.
I guess that's what I'm getting at. That's what I'm getting at. I'm just saying. Once we got down the food path, I'm like, it's not McDonald's, it's something else.
So because it can't be that you're watching Star Wars Visions and you see an episode of Star Wars Visions, and afterwards you say that was so satisfying because I know we're never seeing more of it.
No, but okay. If they didn't make the follow-ups, if they're not making follow-ups to Ninth Jedi, if I just watch that, I'd be like, that is amazing, and I would always dream of more.
Right.
And I would think about it as more. Like there are meals that I have had and I couldn't tell you where they were, but I still remember them. And I'm like, I would love to go back to that place, but I can't remember.
But we can't.
I don't remember where it is. I don't know how to get back there. And that's the Ninth
Star
Jedi.
Wars.
It's actually never happened.
Is a mixed bag. Star Wars has always been a mixed bag, and it always will be, because Star Wars started in 1977, huge thing. 1978 holiday special, the bottom of the barrel, the worst thing possible. Then Empire Strikes Back 1980, 2 years later, arguably the best thing the franchise has ever produced, maybe eclipsed by Andor. People want to assume that it's always been great. It started sucking on Disney. No, it's always been just all over the place with quality, and that's all it's ever going to be. It's always going to be bad thing, good thing, bad thing, good thing. That's never going to change.
Star Wars will never do well with non-canon. Star Wars does well with canon. When we go to non-canon stories, I don't think it works. I don't think it fits.
Wait, so
people
does
love
that
Visions.
count for the Thrawn
People
trilogy?
love Visions, though.
The Thrawn trilogy isn't canon.
I don't think canon matters. At all.
Is the Thrawn trilogy bad because it's not canon?
Okay, I think there is a middle ground where canon is important and carries things, but I also think there is room for things outside the canon that do break through, and I do think that first season of Visions in particular, I do think broke through, and I think there's room for that style of thing, and I think we'll see that with the Ninth Jedi series. Canon is,
when is that meant to come out? When is that?
Next year.
Next year, yeah.
Rad.
So like, I think canon's important, but it's not the be all end all. Like everything, it's about balance.
Bendu.
Interesting.
What was the question?
Live action Star Wars Visions. That's what
that's the question. Okay, yeah.
Okay, that's.
Yourself. Never bring that up again. Oh,
please.
Yourself.
Please.
Oh my gosh! I still don't. Wait, isn't Star Wars Visions? In my head, Star Wars Visions is still like a art book.
In what sense? What do you mean?
I mean, isn't that the original Star Wars Visions? Was it a book with paintings?
Oh, you're right. Yeah.
Star Wars, and it's like Darth Maul as a baby.
Yeah.
There
it is.
That's the original. That's an actual Star Wars Visions.
It's the best take I've ever had, and you're all wrong for not going along with it.
I agree with it, just not for that.
For the record, I
you
never
agree
said
with it.
was
You
a bad
just told
idea.
him how
It's
he was
these
wrong.
two that gone nuts. Okay, it's not me. I support your right to make a hot take like that.
Oh my god! All right.
Yeah, I'm absolutely dumbfounded with those remarks. I have nothing else to say to these lads right now.
Oh god! All right. Do we want to do another question? That was one question.
I'm scared. I'm scared of another question.
Not controversial.
You know what? I think, in light of that last question, we should and everything that just happened, we should do this one. This one comes from J. Augustine 92.
Let's go.
Scared.
What we
Who
got?
asks, what will Dom's reaction be when The Mandalorian and Grogu hits theaters and there is the helmet montage in IMAX?
You know what? That's a great question.
I think I'll walk out of the theater.
There's no way.
And think about it. Think about it, though. There is a strong. Here's what I've been thinking. I've been thinking about this because this question has been in there for a while. I was waiting for you to come back, Dom. There's a thing here that's like, what does Lucasfilm see the helmet thing as? Is it just a Disney Plus thing? Is it just a Disney Plus thing? We're talking about this. We're in this. This is going to be a 3-hour podcast.
Yeah, I think there's points here. Yeah.
Is Lucasfilm see it as a purely Disney Plus thing, where it's just like, there's something for Star Wars on Disney Plus, it shows up whatever else, or is it the equivalent to the Marvel Studios logo that happens in front of every single Marvel project? We have not gotten a Star Wars project in a theater since the helmets came out. Well, actually, Rise of Skywalker, not.
I was gonna say.
That didn't happen.
But that was a different things. They've had a few years to rethink this. So I'm thinking, I don't think there will be helmets, realistically speaking, but there is a strong chance, a very strong chance, that there will be helmets in front of the Mandalorian and Grogu movie.
No.
And if I am in a theater, and I'm especially with him, and those helmets come up, I am going to lose it. I am going to be laughing hysterically. I will never laugh more in my life. I swear to God, I'm going to record it.
I have nothing against the helmets. I've never said anything negative about them on Disney Plus, because for me, I feel like it's the Disney Plus intro, kind of like Netflix has the thing and HBO has the thing. But like, it's not like the Star Wars intro. So I will be shocked. I'll be shocked if it's either. Can you imagine that Dave Filoni and Jon Favreau wait their whole lives to make a Star Wars movie, and then it starts like that? Is that really what they pictured their entire lives?
And there's no George Lucas there saying you have to do this 30s style serial announcer like with the Clone Wars movie.
It's gonna start with blue text on a black screen in some way. Probably not like a long time ago, but
think
like
of Ahsoka.
something.
Think of Ahsoka. Ahsoka had that red text.
Yeah,
like,
that's how it's gonna start. That's my.
It's gonna be that. It could easily be instead of the literally like Ahsoka, instead of the crawl, it's just the text on the screen with the Mando theme music on top of it. I do actually kind of foresee that we will get helmets still, though. To be honest,
no.
I think it'll be helmets. And then it goes black, and then it'll go. I think the song will go straight into the climax of that Mando theme. And then the text being like, "It's been a few years for the Mandalorian," and then you know what they should freaking get?
Narrate the beginning.
No, it's Grogu. I know Tom Kane unfortunately isn't doing it now, but in a perfect world, biding his health was better. I would say that would be incredible to have Tom Kane for some reason just being like, the Mandalorian is on an adventure. Just like
it would fit tonally much more with the Mandalorian than it even did on Clone Wars. I remember seeing
the Grogu.
I remember seeing the Clone Wars movie and hearing that narration for the first time and bursting out laughing because like it was just so not expecting it. It was the last thing I ever expected, and then now I think it's iconic, but at the time I was like, what the heck is this?
The Clone Wars movie works so much better in retrospect.
Do it again.
Oh no, I'm just scared now. No, you just gotta remember what I did. I'm scared.
it was half decent. It was half decent.
Okay, I'll take that.
Half decent. So if there are the helmets, I will boo.
Oh my goodness.
Oh boy.
Please.
Fair enough.
Be that person.
When it is followed by 7 ABY. I will get up and walk out of the theater.
Oh. Oh my goodness.
I'm bringing a tomato. I'm bringing a rotten tomato with me to the premiere, and I'll just be ready. Just chuck it.
Yeah.
Rotten tomato. Well, I mean, someone chucked like a rotten banana at the screen during Rogue One before we got in. So
really,
remember we went to go see Rogue One.
Oh,
and
right,
the second
night there was a stain on the. Yeah, it was on the projector. Yeah, I remember Zach and I went to complain, and they were like, "Who cares?" I was like, "We do."
Like so good.
You're gonna
So
be that
good.
person this time. Everybody who watches it after is gonna have a red tomato stain on the screen because of you, and they're gonna complain.
Oh my god!
Hang on,
So-
I gotta go. I gotta go back because I to that statement, Dom. If you see 7ABY, you're walking out. You cannot sit in that chair and fight for your life for live action visions, and then be pissed off to see canonical year dates of what we're watching. That doesn't make any sense.
I don't have.
Drag
you
him,
want
Hannah.
chaos?
Drag him.
You just want the world to burn and no
I
one
don't
to know
have an
what's
issue.
happening.
I don't have an issue with putting numbers on the screen to indicate what year it is. I have a specific problem with BBY and ABY because I think they're stupid.
When were
What
they
is he
invented?
supposed to
Did
say?
we crack when that started to come in?
When Yavin
It was
happened.
I don't know, and I don't care.
But
Whenever
it was
Yavin
definitely
happened.
like a publishing thing. It was definitely 90s, somewhere in the
books,
90s.
probably.
All right.
Yeah, somewhere in the 90s.
Well,
And
that's
it makes sense
insane.
for the books. It makes sense if for people that know this stuff already. I'm not going into this again. But there's more. There are more effective ways to communicate when something is in the timeline instead of using an abbreviation that the vast majority of people watching don't know what it means. That was my
There
whole
are
point.
people that don't know what ABY means.
Let's go down. Let's walk down the street
Have
and
we
let's
met
ask people.
somebody?
Let's walk down the street and let's ask people, have you watched Andor? And there's a good chance they'll say yes. And you'll say, what does ABY mean? And they'll be like, I don't know.
I'm gonna do that.
Okay.
Do it. I'm going
Film
to.
it.
I want to know.
It should
now.
be a series, yeah.
Because I remember a time when that was just universally like.
Okay, this is
something-
we're so in the bubble right now. This is such Star Wars fandom bubble.
I know.
We're like, I know what ABY means. You know what ABY means. We all know on the show, and everybody listening knows what it means. Step outside our bubble, and we're not going to find people that know what. They're not even going to barely know what the Battle of Yavin
Guess
is.
what?
They'll know what the Death Star
people-
is. They'll know that Luke Skywalker blew up the Death Star. They'll know that happened at the end of the first movie.
So you
But
want
the
it to
Battle
be
of
7
Yavin is not
AD after Death Star?
No, just 7 years
Guess
after
what?
Star
The people
Wars.
that
years
are
after
in
New
the
Hope.
people
Do they need to know?
the people that actually are in the theater watching that see 7ABY pop up on
Okay,
the screen, they're going to go, "Oh, 7ABY. That's weird," and they're not going to think about it ever again for the
Okay,
rest of their
this-
lives.
yeah, this
Literally, it
happens
will
to
not
me
be a thing
when I'm
that they
watching
concern themselves with.
When I'm watching any sci-fi movie, they're always like, "It's the year 2432 since the Declaration of blah blah blah," and I'm like, "Okay," I just accept it. I'm like, "Okay."
Yeah,
think about
but the point of doing it in Star Wars is to situate people on the timeline because Star Wars is weird. It doesn't release its shows in order.
If somebody wants to know when it is in the timeline, they just look it up.
They'll
and
Google it. So
but
then
that's-
why put ABY?
Because they don't need to Google.
Because why not?
They don't need to Google like when the movie is in timeline. They just have to Google what the year means, like what the abbreviation means. It's easier. And then if they know,
I
they
dispute
know.
that claim.
But this is inherently, I think, the issue with Star Wars in the past 10 years is that it's here comes the aeroplane information to fans. Have a thing like what Chris you're saying is like have a piece of information that'll take you 0.5 seconds to Google and learn. Oh, that's what that means. Suddenly you're tapped into knowing anything on the timeline ever.
Exactly.
Like, have something that we want to learn about. There's no, like, the percentage of people that go, there's information I don't know. I will never care about it again. If I see something new I want to know more about it. I'll go find out about it. That's the issue. Star Wars isn't letting us do that.
Star Wars' problem is going to be this. This is what this problem is going to be as it goes forward. The more material that already exists, the harder it becomes for new fans to get interested because it starts to feel like homework. Can I go see Starfighter if I haven't seen The Force Awakens? Can I go see Starfighter if I haven't seen The Acolyte? Can I go see Starfighter if I haven't seen The Empire Strikes Back? And to then, at the beginning of it, drop something like that, drop a term like ABY, BBY, that makes sense to us, that we all know what it is, but it doesn't make sense to people that are already feeling overwhelmed by it. It doesn't help you. It doesn't help you. I don't think you need the in-universe dating thing. For those of us that know that Andor is 5 years before A New Hope season 1, then we don't need that. For the people that might be helpful for, who are trying to figure out where in the timeline this is, they might already be feeling like, geez, this is too much here. There's too much here. I don't know if I really want to get into this. So what if so either say find some way of very easily and quickly communicating 5 years before the original Star Wars movie, or don't say it at all and just say, just start here and trust us as the storytellers. Just trust us. And I think honestly, just trust us, I think, is a better way of doing it. And because inevitably there's going to be other things that you find here in the movie and go, what was the Battle of Tanab? I'm going to Google that when I get home. Or I'll ask fucking Chat GPT what that is, and it'll tell me. You know, I think there's
and actually you have the perfect vehicle. This is why, and I'm not the first person to say this, Dom, you've been on this train. Like, bring back the crawl. We have Star Wars practically not invented, but popularized one of the best exposition dumping things. You know, like, it tells you everything you need to know. It gives you the setup, it gives you the premise, it gives you the time period. Everything is in there.
That's fair.
So you don't need that. Andor did not have that. Okay, Andor was just just throwing stuff at you and letting you go along for the ride. Whereas this is, I think, needs a crawl to like set people up for, especially for people who haven't seen the show and may not be caught up on like, what's the deal with this green baby and Tin Man?
So the show that did this the best, that handled this problem the best, was House of the Dragon. Because in its very first episode, it has not a crawl, but it drops a whole bunch of text on the beginning of the screen. It says, because it's a prequel to Game of Thrones. It takes place, it says 200 years before the death of the Mad King Aerys and the fall of this and the birth of his daughter Daenerys Targaryen, who was the main character of the other show. And then all of that, the vast majority of that text fades away, and it says 200 years before Daenerys Targaryen. So if you know Game of Thrones, you know this is 200 years before that, and that's all you need to know. And honestly, Skywalker's Academy in the chat might have figured it out. 10 years after the death of Darth Vader. There's Mando Grogu. If you really feel we need to handhold people into this, all right, 7 years after the death of Darth Vader and the fall of the Empire. Boom, there you go. Start the movie.
I was gonna ask that pitch. I was gonna say, okay, the year thing I get because people don't know it enough. I do agree, but a crawl saying, I was gonna say after the destruction of the second Death Star, or death of Darth Vader,
death of Darth Vader and the Emperor.
I think would be a good point.
I think there's ways to do this that are clearer, that don't rely on an acronym that doesn't obviously mean something to everybody. 5 years after Darth Vader's death means something to everybody. You got to kind of, everybody knows Darth Vader. Everybody knows Darth Vader dies. That kind of gives us a sense of where we're at. Even 5 years after, and honestly, the idea of doing it before or after the Death Star is not even a terrible idea too, because that's the original movie. Most people know that. I've always found the term relying on the term Battle of Yavin to be unnecessarily confusing, is what I'm getting at. It's unnecessary detail when you could have communicated that information in a way that is more accessible to people that should check out the show that will probably like it. But when you make it feel overly complicated, that's when we do risk not losing people, but not even getting people in the door. Like, let's be complicated. Let's be challenging. Let's be different and exciting. But we got to get people in the door first. And if you make the door really hard to get through, then, box office ratings, we don't really care too much about that on the show. But if people stop watching, they stop making new stuff. And that's why it's,
But question, other than you, who's going to walk out of the theater?
No, nobody. It
doesn't mean anything.
No, but are you going to get them to come back? Are you going to get them to feel like
people going to come back because it said ABY on the screen?
Are you going to enjoy the movie if you're feeling stressed out? Like, I don't understand what's going on here.
I've never had that happen to me where I saw text at the screen at the beginning of a movie that I didn't understand, and I decided I was never going to watch. It's been how good the movie was after.
Okay. Case in point. This happened to me. Okay. I've like seen, as you know, barely any superhero movies, especially. I don't think I've seen like any DC. Never seen a Superman movie ever. Never watched anything with Superman in it. The most recent Superman movie, they had this text on the screen to put you exactly where you are. 3,000 years ago, crypto planet exists. 30 years ago, Superman was born. 3 years ago, he's Superman, whatever. And it's like, okay. It's like 4 lines of text, and I'm like, I think I know where I'm at now.
And that's the crawl. It doesn't just imagine if it just opened with 30 ADK.
That does make sense now. What you're saying,
30 ADK, 30 years after the destruction of Krypton. All the Superman nerds are like, well, shouldn't you know that? On the Superman Underworld, Underworld, they'd be like, don't you know? Don't you know what that means?
If that
Superman
was the case,
Underworld.
Yes. If they have the timeline.
Look, I've got the perfect formula for you. Okay, picture this, guys. Starts with Lucasfilm logo, then fades into the Walt Disney Studios logo, then fades into the 20th Century Fox logo and fanfare, because why not? We're throwing everything in things. Then we have the helmets. Then we have the crawl. But then it's actually a Tom Kane narrated, so Tom Kane's going to read the crawl to us in his Tom Kane narrator voice.
Yeah.
And then actually the Mandalorian and Grogu theme. And
the Death Star is no more. The Emperor is dead.
So the opening credits to this movie are going to be 20 minutes long.
There is one bounty hunter.
It's a Family Guy bit about that. Where they keep showing the intros to the studios. And keeps thinking the movie's starting, and it's not.
The point. Ultimately, the solution is what Ben said about 45 minutes ago. Just do the damn crawl, and that gives you everything you need.
Sure. Yeah,
gives you everything you need.
And Kathleen Kennedy said he was coming back, so I'm gonna.
All Star Wars should have a crawl.
Do it.
All Star Wars should have a crawl.
And in the crawl, it should say 7 ABY.
All right.
Because then we'll learn. Anyway. Jeez.
Joel in the chat says, I've been rewatching Mandoverse with my dad, all of it, general audience type, and thankfully he has not found it homework at all. Love Grogu.
Very accessible.
Did Grogu write this message, Joel? Is this like at the end of a letter? Love Grogu.
Love Grogu.
No, it's and that is like, Chris, you did make a good point. Like at the end of the day, what will bring people in is the move is how good the movie is. I do think that you want to put people in a place where they're like just ready for something new and ready for something good, and dropping nonsensical title cards doesn't help your case. It doesn't ruin your case, but it doesn't help your case. It's like the live action Visions thing. I never imagined this to be the most controversial take. And here we are on year 4 of it. Here we are. We can't let it go. Actually, year 3. Andor premiered when? Pretty recent. We're on the 3-year anniversary of Andor, was fairly recently. So
yes.
There we go. But yeah, crawls. Just bring back the crawl. Bring back the crawl. They solves all our issues. Okay, that's enough. We've hit 2 hours.
That's plenty.
We've hit 2 hours. That's good enough. Yeah, I think so. It's good enough. There's more questions, but we'll get to those in a future week. Apparently, we can't be trusted with more than 2 questions. So that is where we will begin to wrap things up for this week. I'll take the outro, Chris, since you weren't here for the beginning, so I'll take us out. Thank you, everybody, for listening. We'll be back same time, same place next week. Who knows what combination of us will show up? Tune in to find out. Maybe it'll finally be the 50th anniversary show that Ben has been planning for literally half a year, and we haven't done it. Maybe that'll happen. Tune in then, same time, same place. So subscribe to the YouTube channel, all that. Ben, thank you for being here. Thank you for being the voice of reason on this whole crawl debate.
Yeah, somebody's got to hold this bucket together. So I'm glad it was me.
You've been doing that a lot lately.
Yeah, no crap.
Nobody else is showing up, and you're like, I'm doing a show come hell or high water.
Yeah. Every Thursday morning I wake up like, what kind of show are we gonna have? Who's gonna be there? I don't know. I'll be there. I'll do something. I'll do a party trick or something. I'll learn to juggle on air because there's no news and there's nobody else here.
You know what? Nobody show up next week. We want to watch Ben learn how to juggle.
Yeah, sounds good.
Okay.
I like that. I like that.
Bet. We'll see how that goes. But if for some reason you won't want to hear more of what's coming out of my mouth right now, but talking about dinosaurs, talking about not Star Wars. I do mention Star Wars, but 3 hours and 15 minutes of pure dino goodness over on IPC podcast feed. We had a big showing, and it is finally up on all the platforms and all the streams and all that kind of stuff. So I'm very proud of that. Very proud of what we did. It was great to have all those guys talking about some Jurassic stuff. So go check that out.
Check it out. Hannah, thank you for being on. Thank you for being on and being wrong. It's always good to have somebody play that role.
You know what? I will spend the rest of my gambling days betting against your takes. Apparently. No, but it's a pleasure to be back, and so fun to have all 4 of us here. Another good week, and I'll catch you maybe next week.
Check out the Raeside, RAE side. Check it out. And Chris, thank you for joining us to be sometimes right, sometimes wrong.
Yes.
The Bendu, the one in the middle.
Yes, I'm glad I made it this week. Better late than never. Excited to be here.
Exactly. As always, remember, punch the subscribe button, Chewy. That way you never miss an episode of the show. Subscribe on YouTube, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, however you get your shows. And if you have the option, leave a review and become a channel member. It's like the tip jar, so we can pay for other people's pancakes 3 years from now or something. And join the Discord to keep the conversation going between episodes. Follow us on the social media. Ben and Joel are always posting fun things at SWU. And check out the Star Wars Underworld Network. We got good shows like the Raeside, Ion Cannon, Tales from Beyond the Galaxy, and the Tractor Beam. All right, that is it. We'll be back in 7 days' time. Until then, for Ben, for Hannah, for Chris, for all the wonderful people at the Star Wars Underworld, my name is Dominic, and may the Force be with you. Yankees lose.
Yes. Let's go.